Hello class, I'm here to show our first technique, the saran wrap, which is lots of fun, and you can let go and let your imagination take hold. The first thing I want to mention about it is to sort of have an idea of what kind of thing, what your inspiration is. So if it's water, and that determines what colors you're going to end up putting down. So if it's water, we're going to put a lot of blues, leave some spaces, and of course if your plants have a lot of woodsy yellows, greens, and blues. And keep in mind that you can layer over what you first put down, so we don't want to get too dark at first. So beginning is to wet the paper quite thoroughly, and you can either use spray bottle like this, or if you don't have one of those, just get your water and a big brush and just wet it fairly evenly. You can see how wet it is by looking at the surface, and if it glistens, if it pools, that's fine. Now sometimes I work with a smaller piece and I tape it down to a board, so that's, you know, an option. I do have it on the block here. Okay, so I'm going to think, well, maybe I'll try some water. I do like to go down, and my inspiration might be the river that I like to go to. The cord's getting in the way. I like to go down to the river in the summer. It's nice and cool. So I'm throwing some blues in here. I'm going to try to get some different blue. And some yellows, because down by this river it's kind of in the woods, so I'm going to put some yellows in. And then another thing this technique is good for is sort of rocks, the feeling of rocks. So I'm going to throw some gray in here. Now you always can add layer colors over these, you know, after you've done your technique. And you can leave some white, because that might get some interesting things going here. So you notice I started out with a horizontal, so that's the way I'm going. But who knows, it could turn into something else after I've seen what the saran wrap will do. So I'm going to take some plastic, and as long as this is wet, I can still play with where I want the plastic. But here I'm just going to layer over, and I'm going to stretch some of it this way. You know, maybe bunch some up. See the different effects you can get. We bunch some up over here. That's done. So I'm going to let that dry, and you know, you can't really dry it artificially. You just have to let it dry. One thing to consider when you're doing this is you can use more than one piece in different areas. You can actually take an existing painting and just use this technique on one little piece of that painting if you want. There's many ways to use this. You can use this as a background to something.